type of process. But what is a congregation?
At least some form of it, because they are allowed to pick who they want to govern over them.
Okay, what is a congregational government? What if someone say congregational government, what type of government is that?
It's where the congregation actually is in charge of making their own rules, their own decisions.
Right. Congregational government is like that's Pastor Butler. It's when the people makes the decision. That's government from the bottom to the top. Okay? Once I remember that. Presbyterian government. Presbyterian government. What type of government is that? And y'all ask yourself, if you're leaders, pastors, bishop, how are your body of believers are governed?
Is it by a board?
Okay. All right. But there's a certain board. The Presbyterian government, they use the elders of the church that makes rules and regulations based on the people and also the leader. Okay, the elders make the decisions. Okay, and sometimes elders is not really because how old you are. It's supposed to be how you are mature with the Word of God. Don't y'all remember I talked about that a couple weeks ago? Yeah. But in some cases, it's by person who's been in church longer and pay the most money or have the most influence. That's who they put on that board. Have the influence. Okay, that's Presbyterian government. It's government that's been handed from the elders, from the middle. Then it goes down and then goes up. What is Episcopal government?
Now that's more of what AME.
No. What I'm asking, we're not asking about the denomination. We're asking about what is that type of government? What kind of government is that?
They're governed by bishops.
That's where you go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. You good?
I thought somebody else was talking.
That's fine, but you're good. Go ahead.
That's where you have bishops over you.
Right. Episcopal government is when you get government from the top down. Now I'm going to move beyond how y'all describe that in the natural. We all should be governed under Episcopal government, not from bishops, but get your information from the top down, from God, and come down. Because your bishop can have a title as an overseer, and a bishop is a desired office. But if they let their title rule them, they're not hearing from God. They hear from popularity. They hear from they hear like Bar Jesus, what they can benefit from. So when I talk about Episcopal government, I'm talking about when you get your government from the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, from the top down. I got scripture to back it up. I'm glad y'all preachers looking at me. Psalms 133, it says, oh, how good and how pleasant it is that brethren dwell together in unity. Amen. It's just like the fresh oil that come down off the head of who? Aaron. Why use Aaron? Because he was the priest at the time, one who stands in the gap on behalf of God, the kingdom. Aaron, as a priest, only do what God say do. When you're doing what make people feel good and what gets people to like you, and you're not hearing from God, that's still not Episcopal government, even though you do have the title called bishop, because you're not hearing from the top person. Episcopal government is when you hear from God and you share what God say to the people, in spite of how they act, what they think about, how they want to be with you or even leave you. Episcopal government when you do it God's way. If you're a pastor, You should have Episcopal government at your local church. You should govern according to what God is speaking to you to give to the people, not based on what's going to make them feel good, what's going to make them come to your next shoe rally, or make them be able to pack up the house for a revival, and all that you're doing is being broke because they cut out, they run so much heat there to mess up the air conditioning. You see what I'm saying? Episcopal government is when you're hearing from God. And how you know you're hearing from God? Because they verify and confirms with the word of God. And you do that leadership. And you don't get wavering. You don't get swayed. Because no matter how people act. What I'm saying, you as lay members, you can be ruled Episcopal. If I don't care if you're in a Presbyterian government where you got elders over you, if you're in an Episcopal for church-wide, you have bishop over you. But if they're not giving you leadership from God, you don't have to follow. How can, even look at this right here. Now, they did say that, and each one that I would look at, like congregational, you pretty much have a majority of that, like say, in some of the Baptist church, because it's more what the congregation vote on. But you have a little bit of congregation in all denominations.
True.
Because guess what? If you're an Episcopal, not aiming